Okay, this is one of the many times I've attempted to record this between being interrupted by my housemate's cat and alarms and people calling me, but I'll try and smash it out. Okay, demo. The Arduino is connected to some buttons. I've got a pretty ratty setup, but it all works. So the buttons, as you probably know, when you press them, they complete a circuit. So one side of them is connected to Arduino's ground pins. One side is connected to digital pins which read the voltage. Here is the LCD screen. Not the greatest LCD screen, but it's quicker than most to code. It was reasonably complicated, but it works. And there's a few pins going in. I'll show you how to wire that up. Okay, and then it's connected to the computer so I can get my debugging statements on the serial monitor. Okay, all right, the code. So we've got a whole bunch of files here for different stuff. The main one, called Electric Reel, handles high-level stuff like just setup, and when we go into a loop, which is where all the action happens, it listens to a bunch of buttons and sets motor modes accordingly, and sends motor commands and clutch commands. Yeah. Now there's a concept of interrupts, so I don't actually have to check if the Hall effect sensor is in a certain state or not, because every time it blips, a function will be called regardless of what the hell else is happening, and that's necessary for proper measurement. Okay, code for writing to the screen, code for debouncing the buttons. Every time you press the buttons, there's a little bit of a bouncing between high and low, which is annoying, and you have to use timers to sort that out. Button interrupts, things that happen automatically, such as Hall effect sensors. I'll explain that in a second. Motor functions, so motor command function figures out what motor mode we're in and then sends the appropriate PWM and just like enable signals to the motor controllers, like for direction and speed. And then we've got like change units, zero reset, calculate distance. All right. Before I'll probably run out of battery or something this time. Okay, serial monitor. Let's get this thing started. All right. Program is started, and it's in stop mode. So I won't show you me pressing the buttons because it doesn't really matter. All right. So I press that one. I put it in stop mode again. It's already in stop mode. This one is momentary down. I hold it down. Clutch signal remains off. It's sending motor signals to the motor. Cool. And then this button I think is momentary up. Yep. Cool. Right now, there's no changing readings because the Hall effect sensor the Hall effect sensor pins are connected to two buttons, and because there's no motor here and nothing's turning, it relies on me actually pressing the buttons to register a distance change. So if I press one of those, we can see time since the last blip. So I've got a timer so it makes sure that the distance count is only incremented if the two Hall effect sensors go off one after the other and in close succession. Now that time is now a second, but that's something to be calibrated. Here's the other one. So if I go, I'll explain all that in a second. Okay, where distance is changing to 2.8, 3.47. Now, there's a lot of blips coming up at once. That's because of this debouncing, signal bouncing thing that happens with buttons. Won't happen with the actual sensors. So that's all good. And we can see that has updated on the screen. It's in feet because I pressed the units chain button. Whoop, motor signal up. Let's on. Fathoms with the appropriate unit conversions, 4.76 meters. All right, what does this button do? That's the Hall effect sensor. Reducing motor speed, won't go lower than 0. Increasing motor speed, all good. Reducing drag, won't go lower than 0. Increasing drag, all good. Okay, what else we got? Yeah, that's all effect sensor. Changing units. Oh, yeah, sorry. Let's have a look at the drag and all that change. Drag is increasing, is decreasing. Motor speed is increasing and decreasing by increments of a meter. Per second. Now this is to be calibrated as well, how much we want things to change at a time. You can see the amperage is changing as well. It's exactly the same as the motor speed. In lieu of getting a sensor hooked up, it's just the motor speed. Okay. 0 reset. The depth is now 0. Now, if we try and press the up button after we press 0 reset, it won't let us because, yeah, you can't. If you press the up button and you're at the surface, it won't let you. But what we can do is we can use the Hall effect sensor buttons to trick it into thinking it's a little further out. Let me just do that. So let's put it out to 4.76. Now I'll press up. Alright, it's in up, it's sending the correct motor signals, and it's in up mode. We can put it into down mode, momentary up, motor signal down, it's in down mode now, 0 reset. Now I'll show you what happens if, okay, let's put it out at, alright, so now if I try and put it into up mode, it's in slow down mode. So in slow down mode, the motor, it just tries to wind it in, but it does it half speed, and as soon as we get to distance out being less than 0, the motor stops and it will not go up any longer